Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, my dear students. As we know that we have come to an end of our tenses, and I must say that it has been an incredible journey with you all. Together we have walked hand in hand through the rich world of tenses. We have talked about very calm, simple tenses, simple past, simple present, simple future. We have talked about the flowing streams of continuous tenses and the layered beauty of the perfect. We have also talked about the perfect continuous. I must say that if you have watched the whole series of the tenses, now you stand clear about at least the structure, the subject verb agreement, how we use them, what's the purpose of using them, what is simple, what is continuous, and what are perfect or perfect continuous tenses. And we all have worked together as patient travelers of time. We have visited the past, stood firm in the present, and had a sneak peek into the world of future. And how? All through the lens of language. But now that we have completed this grand voyage through all the tenses, it's time to pause and reflect. Today's video is not about learning a new tense. It's about sharpening what we've already learned. Because even the best explorers can misread the map. So today we are going to just look upon a few common errors. That's why these common errors can be the small slips that can confuse meanings, disrupt fluency, or make your writing sound a bit off. These are the little traps that many fall into, but we are going to talk about these today. So let's start this. These are common tense error. Whenever you use them, you come across these. First one is, first of all, that is the most common mistake, and all the students usually make this mistake, and that error is mixing up tenses unnecessarily. When you are using past, you mix present with that. Now have a look at this. What is the error here? Here we are writing she was eating breakfast. This is continuous tense and past continuous. Past continuous. She was eating breakfast and goes to school. This is past, and here the student has used present tense. This is simple present and this is this is past continuous. Whenever you are writing a sentence, do not mix two tenses with each other. If there is a combination like past perfect had a combination with simple past, so you can use it there. But as far as this past and present or mixing past with future, this is not on. So she was eating breakfast and goes to school. Instead of that, she was eating breakfast and went to school. We use past with past. Both the tenses are past. This is past continuous, this is past simple. Why? Because we have to maintain consistency. Past with past, and present with present, unless the context usually or truly shifts. If there are some special circumstances and that is the requirement, then you can use that. But for the students like you are writing, I must say that there are not such circumstances where you need to do that. So you must keep this in your mind. Then when you are writing, you are not allowed to mix up tenses. First thing. Then look at the second one. Using present tense for completed past events. Now what is the error? Yesterday I go to the park. That is quite childish, I must say. You all know this. Whenever you use yesterday, you cannot use present tense with this. Present is not allowed with yesterday. We are talking about past. We cannot use present tense here. Yesterday I went to the park. So using present tense for completed past event is wrong. That is another error that students usually make. Now the next one, number 3, confusing present perfect and past simple. Now the error that we can see here, I have seen him yesterday. Whenever you have this time expression here, yesterday, tonight, today, last night, 2 weeks ago, 5 days ago, anything, if you have a mention of time, you cannot use present perfect with that. I have seen him yesterday, wrong. Instead of that, you will say, I saw him yesterday. Rather, you are going to say this, I saw him yesterday, or you will simply say, I have seen him standing there. You can use an adverbial phrase with that. I have seen him there. I have seen him. But with yesterday, you cannot use present perfect tense. Remember, whenever you have this time expression somewhere, you cannot use have seen or you cannot use present perfect. Why? Yesterday is a finished time. Present perfect is for unspecified or ongoing time. So remember, present perfect have plus third form of the verb cannot be used with time markers. Next we have overusing future tense with the time clauses. When she will arrive, we will eat dinner. Whenever you use this when, you cannot use will with that. When and will cannot be used together. That is a very common mistake. Students, not just students, when while communicating with each other, whenever we are talking, we most of the time we use when we will go there, when we will do this, that is wrong. Will cannot be used with when. When can only use with simple tenses. When she arrives or when she arrived. It can be used with arrived also. When she arrived. If that is past, we can say that. So that means whenever you have this when in your sentence and second part has will also, do not use this will here. When she arrives, we will eat dinner. When she arrives, we will eat dinner. So the rule here is that we cannot use will with when. Why? In time clauses, when, after, before, until, as soon as, present tense is used for future meaning. So whenever you have when, after, before, until, as soon as in time clause, we will use present tense after that, not future tense. Right? And that is a very common mistake. That is a very common mistake. Most of the people, while talking, while communicating, while writing, they make this mistake. So beware of that. Next we have number 5, forgetting the be verb in continuous tenses. That is the mistake. Usually when we are writing, we do not make this mistake while we are talking, and that is bearable. I must say that when we are talking, we make this mistake. But if you are writing an essay, if you are writing directed writing tasks, if you are writing a statement, you cannot forget this be verb. What this be verb is, now I have done a video on this also. Be verbs mean is, am, are, was, were, be, been, and being. These are 8 be verbs. So what are they saying? Whenever you are using continuous, they play, they are playing. Never miss this helping verb here. In continuous tenses, we cannot form a sentence without a helping verb. The auxiliary is, am, are is essential in continuous forms. That is another mistake. Number 6 now. After he had left, she was arriving. When we were doing this past perfect tense, I told you that this past perfect is used in a combination with simple past. Right? Whenever you use past perfect, had plus past participle, the second sentence, always you are going to have 2 actions in that sentence where you use past perfect tense. And when you use past perfect, second action is used in, second action must be in simple past. After he had left, the action that happened earlier, it is written in past perfect, and the thing that happened later, it is written in simple past. So after he had left, she arrived. After he had left, she arrived. We cannot use continuous tense with past perfect. Past perfect is for the earlier to past action, earlier of the past action. That means the action that happened earlier, we use past perfect for that. The second one, the action that happened later, we use simple past. Yes, this now next one. Future tense with if in conditionals. Error. If it will rain, we won't go. That is, I think this is a kind of a sentence that students mostly use, and this is the same kind of mistake that we use with when. When I will go there. So this is again another mistake that is also very common. If it will rain, whenever we have this if, we cannot use will in that clause. If it rains, if it rains, we won't go. Correction is if it rains, we won't go. So in conditionals, when we have if, we do not use will with that. We use if it rains, simple present tense. In conditional sentences, we do not use will after in the if clause. So the here the rule that you need to remember, whenever you are writing an if sentence, if I go to school, if you write it if I will go to school, that is wrong. If I go to school, I will have to do my work. In the second form, in the second part of the sentence, you are going to use will, but in the first one with if, you are not allowed to use will. If it rains, so that is related to if clause. Whenever you are going to use if clause in a sentence, use simple present tense or use simple past tense or any other tense that is required there, but not will. Number 8 now. Forgetting continuous for ongoing actions. Right now, whenever you use this right now, that means you are talking about an action that is happening in front of your eyes, something that is happening, ing. So right now she cooks dinner. Now remember all these rules when we speak or when we talk to each other. Sometimes we do make mistakes and they don't matter, but when you make such mistakes in writing, they matter a lot. Then you get your marks deducted there. So in speaking, you can talk, you can speak, you can use whatever you like, but when you are writing, that is a kind of a proof that you have written it. You are going to get marks for that. So then you cannot use such mistakes there. So if you are using right now, it is going to be she is cooking dinner, not she cooks dinner. Right now she is cooking dinner. Right now needs present continuous, not simple present. So now next time, if you use right now and you are writing something, after that you will use present continuous. Now that is the end of this series and we are done with that. That's all for now. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye.